All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, another field of four for the college football playoff has been decided, and once again, there isn't a spot at the table for a group of five program. Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State will all be participating in this year's playoff, but there won't be any love for undefeated Cincinnati or undefeated Coastal Carolina. The group of five will always, and I repeat, always get the shaft on the strength of schedule factor. But at the same time, how many blowouts have we seen over the years in the semifinals for the college football playoff, and yet the same schools get the opportunity to fail? You always hear but look who they played, look who they played, look who they played. However, we've seen UCF beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl. We've seen Houston throttle Florida State in the Peach Bowl, since the New Year's Six took hold a few years ago. Why not give one of these underdogs a shot? They've beaten everybody on their schedule. Sometimes, in some cases, the bigger schools don't want to face them. And it's a situation, they're handcuffed by that. And a lot of those smaller schools, that are good, they'll say, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. At the end of the day, I think if you're going to sit up there and say all of these teams are competing at the FBS level, they have to have a legit chance, and they're not getting it. We can see a group of five champion in the college football playoff without having to compromise things or expand this tournament to 8 teams. It's a situation where, hey, you know what? If they've beaten everybody that they've beaten, if they get enough love in the rankings and they deserve to be there, they should be there. But unfortunately, it's probably never going to change because the powers that be at the big schools call the shots. I mean, we had Boise State go undefeated for several years during the 2000s, and they never got an opportunity to play for the national championship, even in spite of the fact that they went out there and beat Power 5 clubs and the Blue Bloods a la Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. And this is where I agree with American Athletic Conference Commissioner Mike Oresco, because, he went to bat for Cincinnati last week as far as their inclusion or deserving to be included in the field of four. And it's basically, not to paraphrase, but what are we doing here? Because why should these schools compete at the D1 level if you're not going to give them an opportunity to compete on the biggest stage? And it comes down to money, and it comes down to reputation. And don't get me wrong, Alabama deserved to be there. Don't get me wrong, Clemson deserved to be there. They won the ACC. Ohio State won the Big Ten. I talked about Notre Dame in a different podcast, not deserving to be there. Texas A&M making a better statement. But I would have liked to have seen Cincinnati get some more love. I would have liked to have seen Coastal Carolina get some love. And I mean, over the years, we've seen good teams come from the group of five that are legit clubs. And now I know some people are going to say, well, if they don't win their respective bowl games, it's going to say, well, that's why they shouldn't have been there. But the bottom line is, something should change. It's not going to change. And I really think it takes away from the product. You look at the NCAA tournament for men's basketball. One of the things that makes that the most exciting thing is the fact that, hey, on those first 2 rounds of the tournament, anything can happen. We've seen a 16 upset of 1. We've seen 15 seeds upset the 2 seeds. We've seen 14 seeds upset the 3 seeds. We've seen double-digit teams make runs to the Final Four. That would not be the case if you only took the top 16 men's basketball teams in the country and put them in a tournament. If this is supposed to include everybody should get a crack. And again, how many times do we have to see the Oklahomas of the world get blown out in the semifinals before we sit back and say, hey, somebody else deserves a crack? This is what it has gotten down to right now. It stinks. It never is going to change, unfortunately. And it's going to consistently be a dark cloud that hangs over the great sport of college football. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to thank all of the subscribers out there. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.